In the world of cars, few names command as much respect and ignite as much passion as the Ford Mustang. It's more than just a car. It's a symbol of freedom, power, and the American dream. But how did this legend come to be? Let's take a ride back in time to where it all began. The story starts in the early 1960s. The post-war baby boomers were coming of age, and they wanted something new, something exciting. They didn't want the giant boat-like cars their parents drove. They craved style, performance, and affordability. Ford's visionary vice president, Lee Iacocca, saw this gap in the market and assembled a team to create a car for this new generation. The project was codenamed T5, and the goal was simple: build a compact, sporty car that would turn heads without emptying wallets. After exploring several concepts, the team, led by designers like Joe Oros and David Ash, finalized the design. It had a long hood, a short rear deck, and a fierce, forward-leaning grille with a running horse emblem that screamed speed and wild spirit. The name itself, Mustang, evoked images of the untamed American West. On April 17, 1964, at the New York World's Fair, the Ford Mustang was officially unveiled. The public reaction was instantaneous and overwhelming. It was a sensation. Ford had anticipated selling about 100,000 units in the first year. They sold over 22,000 on the very first day. Within a year, over 400,000 Mustangs had galloped off the lots. The pony car was born, and an icon was created. The first generation Mustang, produced from 1964 to 1973, offered a dizzying array of options. You could get it as a hardtop, a convertible, or a sleek fastback. Engines ranged from a modest inline six to powerful V8 South. This ability to customize was a key part of its appeal. You could build a stylish, economical commuter or a fire-breathing street machine. Of course, you can't talk about the first-gen Mustang without mentioning Carroll Shelby. The legendary racer and car builder took the Mustang and turned it into a track-dominating beast. The Shelby GT350 and later the GT500 were high-performance masterpieces, cementing the Mustang's reputation in the world of motorsport and creating some of the most sought-after collector cars in history. As the 60s turned into the 70s, the Mustang began to change. Like many muscle cars of the era, it grew larger and heavier. The focus shifted slightly from nimble performance to a more comfortable grand touring feel. However, the world was about to change drastically. The oil crisis of 1973 hit the auto industry like a brick wall. Suddenly, gas-guzzling V8 South were out, and fuel efficiency was in. This led to one of the most controversial chapters in the Mustang's history. The Mustang II, introduced in 1974, and based on the compact Ford Pinto platform, the Mustang II was smaller, lighter, and initially didn't even offer a V8 engine. Many purists were horrified. They saw it as a betrayal of the Mustang's performance heritage. But in reality, the Mustang II was the right car for the right time. It sold incredibly well, with over 1 million units produced in its 5-year run. It kept the Mustang nameplate alive during a turbulent period when many of its muscle car rivals were being discontinued. It was a survivor. By the end of the 70s, tastes were changing again, and Ford knew the Mustang needed a modern reinvention. This brought us to the third generation, known as the Fox Body Mustang, which debuted in 1979. With its crisp, European-inspired styling, the Fox Body was a complete departure from its predecessors. It was lighter, more aerodynamic, and handled better than any Mustang before. The Fox Body era, which lasted until 1993, saw the return of real performance. The reintroduction of the 5.0 V8 in the Mustang GT in 1982 was a landmark moment. The lightweight chassis, combined with the potent Torque V8, made the 5.0 king of the streets and a favorite among drag racers and customers. The Fox body brought the muscle back to the pony car and re-established its performance credentials for a new generation. In 1994, for its 30th anniversary, the Mustang received its first major redesign in 15 years. The fourth generation, codenamed SN95, brought back classic Mustang styling cues like the side scoops and the tri-bar tape, but with a smooth, modern, and more rounded design. The interior was also dramatically improved, making it a much more comfortable and refined car. Under the hood, the legendary 5.0 V8 was eventually replaced in 1996 by a new 4.6-liter modular V8. This new engine was smoother and more sophisticated. The performance continued to escalate throughout this generation, especially with the introduction of the high-performance Cobra, and Cobra are models from Ford's Special Vehicle Team, or SVT. These cars featured independent rear suspension and powerful, hand-built engines, pushing the Mustang into serious sports car territory. The fifth generation, launched in 2005, was a designer Sibram Narachi spearheaded a retro-futuristic design that drew heavy inspiration from the iconic Fastbacks of the late 1960s. It was an instant classic, de longue ou the aggressive grille. The signature taillight seat looked like a modern interpretation of the car everyone fell in love with in the 60s. This generation brought back the power in a big way. The GT model featured a new 3-valve 4.6-liter V8 with 300 horsepower, and the sound it made was pure American muscle. The platform was solid, the styling was a home run, and Ford brought back legendary names like the Shelby GT500, now packing a supercharged V8 W Ito B 500 horsepower, making it the most powerful factory Mustang ever at the time. This generation was a massive success, reaffirming the Mustang's place at the top of the pony car food chain. And that brings us to the current generation, the sixth, which debuted in 2015 to celebrate the Mustang's 50th anniversary. This was a truly global Mustang, designed to be sold in markets all around the world for the first time, including right-hand drive versions for countries like the UK and Australia. The design became sleeker and more athletic. But the biggest news was under the skin. For the first time in its history, every single Mustang came standard with a sophisticated independent rear suspension. This transformed the car's handling, making it a legitimate contender against European sports coupes on winding roads, not just in a straight line. Engine options now include the powerful 5.0 Coyote V8, making well over 400 horsepower, and a surprisingly potent turbocharged 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine, which provides a great balance of performance and efficiency. High-performance models like the track-focused Shelby GT350 with its flat-plane crank V8 and the monstrously powerful supercharged Shelby GT500 with over 760 horsepower have pushed the limits of what a Mustang can be. Now, Ford is looking to the future once again with the all-new 7th generation Mustang, continuing the legacy of internal combustion engines while competitors move away. And in a bold move, the Mustang name has also been lent to the electric Mach crossover, showing that the spirit of the style and performance can evolve and adapt to a new electric era. From a simply stylish car for the youth of the 60s to a global performance icon, the Ford Mustang has constantly evolved, reflecting the times while staying true to its core identity. It has been a movie star, a race winner, and a dream car for millions. It's a story of survival, reinvention, and pure, unadulterated driving fun. The Mustang is more than just a car. It's a piece of automotive history that's still being written today. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the history of the Ford Mustang. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. Let us know in the comments which Mustang generation is your favorite. We'll see you next time.